This is the Fleet Europe podcast, hosted by Melchior Watzele. In this podcast, we are celebrating the 30-year partnership between Arval, Element, and SMAS. Introducing today's guests, Julie Maynard, the Director of the International Business Office at Arval BNP Paribas Group, Jenna Chambers, the Vice President Global Business Development at Element, and Hiroshi Ikawa, Corporate Officer, Head of Global Alliance at SMAS. Enjoy the episode.
We are here at the studio of the Fleet Europe Day. It's full of emotion. We are inaugurating this studio with this podcast. And today we have a special moment because we are celebrating an anniversary of an alliance between Arval, Element, and SMAS. So to celebrate this anniversary, I have three guests with me for this podcast. So ladies first, you cannot blame me. So first, Julie Maynard from Arval. I have also with me Jenna Chambers from Element. And I have with me Hiro Shokoyama. Oh, I can pronounce it right. Iokawa. You know, it's a pronounce again. That's the difficulty of starting with this podcast. But today we have a celebration because this alliance is celebrating its 30th anniversary. It is an alliance between the three of you, with the last formal ending of this alliance with the joining of SMAS in 2023. And with the three of you, you are managing more than 4.5 million cars all around the world, with all your geographical area. Let's say Arval is more European. Of course, Element is more North America, Australia, New Zealand. SMAS is more Japan, of course, but Asian Pacific. But you are everywhere with the three of you, but with this additional value, geographical value for the three of you. First question maybe is just if you had to point out the biggest or the greatest achievement of this alliance between the three of you, which one would you point out? Maybe to start with Julie?
Yes, thank you, Melchior. So I think 30 years speak for itself, and that's an unprecedented because we are the long-lasting alliance in this industry. Strong achievement is, on one hand, the number of global shared clients we are having, because altogether we combine far above 200 shared clients, which means that out of the entire clients we are having, there is a central coordination and global relationship on more than 200 clients, and this is representing more than 700K vehicles. So on these ones, there is this central approach that we are having, and key achievement is the trust and the strong commitment we are having together.
Thank you. Julie, what would you say? Trust, of course.
With regard to this remarkable milestone, we've been very excited and looking forward to celebrating 30 years together. But to Julie's point, when we share more than 200 clients together, we have this unique ability to listen to our clients and listen to what they're trying to achieve from a global fleet management perspective. So we have benchmarking that's available. We have this unique ability to see what they need and then to act on it at the global level and also the local level.
Okay, great. Hiro.
Yeah. So you know that SMAS joined EAGA just for 2 years back. But in terms of our alliance, the partnership with Element dates back 1999. So already 26 years. So it's yielding cross-border referrals now. And also we share the best practice. And for SMAS, we share that best practice across Japan, Thailand, India, Indonesia. So now we have a lot of shared clients, a lot of opportunities. It's increasing.
Great. So we feel the trust. We feel also the objective to grow and to go further. But how do you combine together with the three of you this difficult balance between how are you global but keeping this local specificity? Maybe with you, Julie?
So we have a vast network of countries. We cover 55 countries worldwide, which keeps the global perspective. We're able to strategize at the global level, but it's the local objectives and managing those local objectives for the drivers, because ultimately that's the most important piece. We can manage 4.5 million vehicles globally, and that's a remarkable number, but it's ultimately the individual driver and making sure that they can achieve their goals, their objectives for their work or their family that we're managing as well.
And Julie, can you keep this real link with all those specific driver, even having 4.5 million vehicles?
So we have each of us very strong operations acting in each and every country. That's the reason why we are able to act locally. Then when there is this central strategy coordination, it's also enable us to act as a radar across all regions, because today we know that there are differences in all regions. The energy transition is not at the same pace everywhere. There is a strong demand for digitization, but again, it's not addressed in the same way everywhere. Having this everyday connections between our teams, and we, each of us, have dedicated person in charge of connecting people from sales, from procurement, from operations, and so on, enable us to have this global strategic approach with acting locally.
Okay, and Hiro, you feel also this possibility to act locally, even trying to combine, I mean, the positive effect of the big group, but keeping this positive effect of local contacts?
Yeah, actually, that even though there is, very, very beautiful global direction strategy, if it is not aligned with locally, it doesn't work. So we, SMAS, visited our element often, and also we discuss frequently. So we have a mutual respect, mutual trust, and so now, three-way communication between headquarters and the regional team and local team. We have a lot of discussion with the client. So I think that, with this EAGA, it really works.
Okay, so we understood there is trust between you and you have this win-win situation. You win with this big group and you win with this local and service dedicated team all over the world. Okay, so as we understood, you are very happy of this anniversary and of this collaboration. What are the next steps? Do you want to continue to grow? Do you want to go further? You have now 4.5 million vehicles together. What are your next steps? What are your expectations for the 3-5 next years? Julie?
A lot. There are many more people, as I was writing very, very shortly last week. I was writing that on the comments. We are having also our team members spending time in our premises. So, for instance, we are welcoming now a colleague from SMAS. SMAS has welcomed a colleague from Arval, from my team, last year. We have done also this program with Element a few years ago, which is contributing to act on a number of aspects. Today we know that the shift towards electric is pretty advanced in Europe on companies. This is no longer a topic. However, we know that this is at the beginning or not as advanced in the other regions. So we are investing time and effort with our global client together to develop this. We are also sharing best practices to try replicating in the best way possible for each region the EV ecosystem, so charging infrastructure, with a lot of contribution from our experts on the field. Of course, we will continue to develop the global collaboration with our global shared clients, with taking the best of each organization when it comes to global reporting, global business review methodologies, global telematics, enabling more data-driven decision. So the sky is the limit, I would say.
Okay, you feel the same thing, Jenna, also in your region? Because, of course, we hear a lot about sustainability with Arval, because Europe is focusing on it very much. Sometimes from Europe. We are hearing other sounds from the US, for example. Are you also focusing on that very much for to reach the sky, as described by Julie?
So, electrification and decarbonization in the U.S. is definitely a challenging, program. We're working on it. It's a very different entity because the size of the U.S. and the scope, it just doesn't translate the same way that it does in Europe. Does it? But I think we're also focusing on electrification and decarbonization is important when the infrastructure is there and when the time is right for the driver. Ultimately, it always comes back to the driver. We have actually leveraged Arval's expertise on this for years, and utilizing what they have learned, that was able to catapult Element much farther forward on behalf of our drivers and how we could do that. So.
It helped you to go faster.
Much faster. Yes, we could take what they had learned over the past, few years as they were working it through, and then we could essentially start halfway, forward than where we had, where we were going. So it was ultimately that's what's great about the alliance in general is we do share information, et cetera, and then also Element is very progressive with regard to AI, and so we're also sharing that among our partners as well.
Okay. And for you, and in of course, again, other geographical area, Hero?
Yep. And actually in Asia, we are expanding. And we try to expand more. And in order for us to do so, we can learn quite a lot from Arval and Element. For example, from my perspective, Arval is very advancing in terms of sales, consulting, mobility observatory, etc. And for Element, like a strategic advisory or mobility area. So we learn those things and replicate into Asia for us to expand.
Okay, but I hear lots of good projects, sustainability, AI, connectivity, all those things. And in terms of volume, I suppose that there is also an objective to grow and to go above this 4.5 million. Yes, I see you, the three of you, right? Clear. The line is very clear for the three of you. And also, geographically speaking, are there also some other option? Do you want to grow also on new territory? Because you are covering not the whole world, but more or less, but there are still some places where you are not. Are there some possibility to grow geographically, maybe through other acquisition? Or you are now more focused on the even deeper integration between the three of you? What's a bit the perspective? Going broader in terms of new partner or deepening the integration between the three of you? Hero, maybe?
For ESMAS, we are leading Asia Pacific in Element our Global Alliance. So we only act only 4 countries in Asia. So we need to expand in order for, provide good solution to our client. So definitely we try to expand in Asia.
Okay, so more being focused and more in the direction of the integration. Jenna?
Well, for Element, so we're present in US, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand. I think ultimately we're always open to looking at other countries and other options. We are trying to listen to our clients, see what they are, looking to achieve. But while we're, not looking at any particular country right now, we're focused on our alliance and making sure that we're as strong and connected as we can be on behalf of those clients that we currently serve and making sure that we provide the best in global fleet management to them.
Okay, Julie?
So in terms of scope, we are operating together on 55 markets, and for Arval, it's 28 countries, which is already a lot. It's Europe-based, as you were saying, but also a large footprint in Latin America, which is a big market with a lot of differences. I would say that today there is no official intention to expand to countries. However, there is an important point is the expansion today is more on the entire ecosystem because we are experiencing a deep transformation on our industry. We need to onboard new players, new technologies to be more data-driven, to offer new solutions to our clients, such as mobility, bike, and so on, which are new assets for us. and also charging points, new energy cards, and a lot of things. And all these items, all these new services have today been developed by Arval and by Element and SMAS. So I would say that the expansion today sits in this. We need to succeed in this entire package to enable our client, guiding their mobility forward.
And so I understood, we understand that you are sharing best practices together. Are you also sharing information in terms of partnerships? So as you say, in terms of connectivity, for instance, connected cars, new services, providing new services, you are working with partners in all of your region. Are you also exchanging information according to those partners together?
We exchange only what can be exchanged, because you know that there are competition laws and so on.
Yeah, a contractual issue sometimes as well, of course.
As everybody has. However, for the interest of clients, and especially our shared clients, when every rules are respected, there are a number of details we use, again, to optimize and to meet our clients' requirements. Today, we are a lot on cost mitigations, usage optimization. So as soon as we comply with every item, this is something we share on a regular basis as much as possible.
Okay, I see that for the two of you, the other one, it's the same answer. So we feel the trust and we feel that there is a real alliance because you are fully aligned. If you had to point out one example of a learning experience from each of you to be a bit more operational, to be more concrete. I've heard that you are sharing information on sustainability and connectivity, but if you had to explain one example of a good share experience within the three of you, which one would you mention? I start with you, Hiro.
So actually, SMAS visit Arval and Element quite often, as I mentioned. So for Arval, we are really, looking to replicate some of the sales organization, how it replicate to our global team. And for Element, we learn about the ITs, strategic advisory services. It is very good for us if we can consult to the client like that. Yeah.
Okay, clear. Sales and IT. It's good, huh? You are picking the good examples. Jenna, which one would you?
Well, for Sumitomo, we definitely appreciate their relationships in Asia, in the Asia Pacific markets, and I think that's very important to us. And as I mentioned earlier, the electrification process for Arval has been pivotal for us over the past few years. I think that's made a big difference for how we expand that offering to our clients in all of our markets.
Okay, clear.
How long do we have? Because I have many examples.
It's a podcast, and not too long, but operational examples are always welcome.
So two topics comes into my mind. The first one is our cross-selling methodologies. Thanks to the outstanding work from Jenna, there is, across the entire 55 countries, the ability to, in a very agile manner, identify where we are already having existing strong relationship and to open opportunities to other markets, which is enabling our client to have a more consolidated approach. And the second example I would give is very trendy at the moment because it's all about savings program with our strong consulting teams, and we are having almost 100 consultants. If we combine Element, Arval, and SMAS,
wow,
we are able to deliver consistent savings program adapted to each and every region, because we are not running savings on the same way in Europe or in the US and Japan. But we come to the client with a full overview and commitments on savings across their regions, and we deliver these actionable insights to make sure that they can continue optimizing their fleet costs.
Okay, thank you, because that's clear, because I think that it shows the interest of having this collaboration and having this partnership and having this big group, but trying to remain focused on the specificity of each continent and of each country. As I told you, it's very short, 20 minutes for the podcast, but so maybe time now to conclude. So we have seen that there is full trust, there is mutual recognition between you, the all of you. There was this sharing of best practices between the three of you. Maybe a last question. If you had to describe this relation between the three of you, and if you had to describe it maybe as a type of a vehicle, how would you describe it in a very short way, but for the one who are listening to understand really how this partnership looks like? Julie, you start?
Yes, I will. So, not a comparison with our automotive industry.
No.
We'll just give you an illustration that we, our alliance, are a lighthouse on the solid ground. We are in the storm at the moment. There are many challenges. The weather is the only constant who changed. And we are really the lighthouse for our shared clients, showing the way all the time and illuminating the path towards the mobility.
Lighthouse, giving the way. Jenna?
After 30 years of this partnership, our foundation is incredibly strong. We work together. We value each other. We value our different markets, our different cultures. And I think that's the most important piece, is that we are a strong foundation. We're a strong team.
The stability of the lighthouse, giving the way, but also being stable. Hero?
Yeah, for ESMAS, I would say that, we just joined recently, but anyway, that, lighthouse, there's sea, big ocean, that we, ESMAS, want to lead the ship in the sea.
Okay, so
As a newcomer, yeah.
okay, you are more in the sea matter than in the cars, but it's not a problem. But thank you very much. That's mobility as a go. That's global mobility. So a global alliance with global mobility. Thank you very much for this podcast. Happy birthday to the three of you and to the three companies, Arval, Element, SMAS. And when I see the connectivity between you, when we see the trust and the different best practices you are sharing, I'm sure that with Fleet Europe and with Nexus, we will have the opportunity to celebrate many more. Happy birthday with you. Congratulations to the three of you, and thank you for joining us during this podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.